What's going on, people? It's your man, the White B, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Paul Shaw, BBK, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got a good update for you, man, right now. Anyone who's backing the Prophet Maximus Danelius, we up right now. We won the fight already. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. If these bars end up being true, which I have no doubt they will be, we up. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know what Betfair doing, man. Send me my coins. Send me my coins right now. He's getting punched up, is what's happening. Oops. Anyway, listen. Bash. Team Joseph Parker came out today. You can see it here, Sky Sports. Joseph Parker on course to be the stiffest, heaviest plumber from New Zealand of his career against Dubois. Yeah, the title says Parker on course to be career heaviest. Yeah, as big and as stiff and as useless have you ever seen him. That's not my words. Andy Lee says it himself. Andy Lee comes out and says, "We've got Joe in such a shape, he'll be bigger and stiffer and more useless than Tyson Fury was." Bash! Andy Lee's speciality. You know that, but anyway, listen. Here's the bars from Andy Lee. Yeah? What's that saying out of the horse's mouth? Bash!
He will be heavier, probably a career heaviest. But it hasn't affected his speed, hand speed, or his mobility. And he's certainly punching harder. I can feel it on the pads. So it's been a good move for him. You know, I don't buy into the adage of if you're lighter, you move faster. I think if you're lighter, you get moved faster. Where if you got some weight behind you, you can hold your feet and hold your ground more, and you're a bit stronger in the clinches. It's a physical game we're in here, and it's good to be. The stronger, the better, almost.
Well, this honestly, yeah, I'm hoping for. Tell a lie, listen, this is good for us. Like I said, we've won this fight now. The fight's over. Yeah, this guy will come in big and stiff and like a plumber. Imagine a plumber. Yeah, imagine a big rugby playing kangaroo plumber. That's what you get. Big stiff one. He's gonna be there. He might be good. You're not gonna start punching hard. If you can't punch at 250, yeah, being 280 ain't gonna make you punch hard. You either punch or you don't at that point, right? If you can't punch, Dubois is like 240, yeah. He could punch at 240. Parker at 250. You don't need to be whatever the weight is. Wait, listen, it's good for us. But what does shock me is Parker's heaviest fight ever was against Joe Joyce, 255. There's rumours he's going to be 265. God forbid that. Even at 255 he's toast. Yeah, this guy, he's not that tall. I think he's like 6'3" or something. Allegedly 6'4". I don't think he's that tall. So you got AJ. When AJ fought Usyk, he was 240. Parker don't have the build of AJ. So Parker shouldn't be a lick more than 240 at the heaviest kind of thing. Andy Lee coming in. Again. I'm glad he's saying this. This is good for us. His head's coming off. He's going to be so stiff and slow. His only advantage. He's never going to punch. He's never going to out-clinch. He's never going to do any of that with Dubois. He's not. He could be 400 pounds. How'd that work for Miller? And what I understand is these... I don't know where they find these trainers at. It is ridiculous to say, "Oh, I don't think that being heavier... Oh, I don't think being heavier, I don't think it makes difference. I can't do his accent. That sounded like a moody African jippo, but listen. It obviously makes a difference. And the crazy thing is, it was only 2 months ago, Andy. You was the head trainer, or in the mix certainly, making Tyson Fury the heaviest and stiffest ever been. And he was knackered and slow as molasses down the back straight. Proper slow. How did it help him roughen Usyk up? Oops. He didn't rough nothing up in there. He just ended up super slow and super goosed, super quick. That's all that happened. Yeah, and it's a scientific fact. When you're heavier objects, for the same amount of energy applied, move slower. Yeah, in general, heavier objects move slower. It's not rocket science. It's what it happens. Heavier people, listen, put it this way: who here thinks heavier objects move quicker? That's ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. So unless Andy Lee has managed to cook up some moody yippo magic that's made the laws of physics reverse, and now big, heavy, massive things move super rapid, quicker than smaller things, He's talking out of his backside. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. In fact, let's listen to it again. It's only 30 seconds.
He will be heavier, probably a career heaviest. But it hasn't affected his speed, hand speed, or his mobility. And he's certainly punching harder. I can feel it on the pads.
Again, this is the problem with training as well. On the pads, no one really. I've never seen someone puffing on the pads. Have you really? How many times have you seen someone proper goose on the pads? Proper like. I've seen people sparring. I felt like my arms are gonna fall off. My hands just want to touch the floor. Yeah, my legs just want to go to the floor. In a pad session, it's like you tap it a few times, you step off, you have a look, the coach is talking to you. No one's hanging in a pad session. No one's hanging in a pad session. You can argue, well, why be? Maybe, obviously, they've been doing sparring too at that weight, and he's obviously not gassing. Again, though, being sparring fit and fight fit, when you're in there, for most top-level fighters like Parker, yeah, it'd be very hard for him to get any top sparring, to tell the truth. Never mind someone like Dubois. When you're the A-side fighter, when you're in that league of top 10 heavyweights, you only really can get, like, for example, AJ was sparring Otto Wallen and people like that. They're levels below you. So you're calm, you're confident, you're the A-side every time in spars, most of the time, right? If your name's Dubois or Joseph Parker, 9 times out of 10, you're the A-side in every spar. You go in there, you're nice and calm, it's all good. You've got big gloves on, big head guard on, it's all cool. It's only sparring. When the lights go on, and you got 250 pound, bone dry lean, bred to do it, Mandinga bull, for the last 10 generations of Mandinga fighters. Danny Dubois in there in front of you. Pop! Big stiff right hand jab right in your chops. Yeah? That's when we find out how much extra weight does or doesn't help. And I believe Parker's advantage in this fight was, I think he's quicker. Punch, he's quicker than Dubois. He's never going to be able to punch. Yeah, Andy. Again, I could. It's good for us that this guy's delusional. It's good for us. This guy don't have no. Wait a minute. We came in big, stiff, and useless against Usyk. It made no difference at all. Where was all the extra power Fury had? He was just slower. There was no power gained. He hurt Usyk less. Is the truth, right? I don't think Usyk magically got better in the second fight. You just was worse. You just did nothing. At least in round 5, I think it was, or round 6 in the second fight, Usyk was kind of half stunned and took a step back. Speed kills. It's the ones I don't see. Yeah? It's the rapidness, the babash. And that's what Parker was good at. That's the risk here. The risk here is that Dubois' leaky defense is there, and Parker's able to just dip and bosh. And I've watched some of the fights back against Zhang and whatnot. He can do that. He can rattle shots off. Equally, though, he was in there with a 50-year-old pensioner, Zhang, 1 gear, super slow, big heavy hands, big quick hands, but he's super slow. It takes him 90 seconds to charge up 1 backhand from Zhang. Parker needs to be light on his feet, pinging off, catching a bit, almost, I'd argue, a bit more like Bivol versus Beterbiev. Needs to be what I'd be doing if I was Parker. Bear in mind, Parker's not no Gennady Aimard, Bruce Lee Golovkin. He's not. Forget about it. So he's only ever going to be able to do what Bivol did against Beterbiev, i.e. be quick, find spots in between Dubois' leaky coming forward, a bit like Bivol did with Beterbiev at points, and hope that's enough. Yeah, and hope that's enough. You come in heavier, all that backpedaling goes out the window quickly. Right, you don't get better at backpedaling. Now Andy Lee puts the argument across, well, we don't want to backpedal. We want to be in there tungling with him. We want to tussle with him. We want to have a push and a pull with him. Really? Really? That's what you want to do? Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Parker goes in there and for the first time in his career ever, he looks at the floor and bowls his hand over and knocks Dubois spark out in round 1. With my luck, it probably happened that way, to be fair. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, because I'd have told you there's no way Liam Smith chins Eubank spark out, either. So crazier things have happened. But statistically speaking, really? This was the great plan? Is it possible? It's a cucking? We know these kind of Yippo cats, they like to play these mind games. Yeah, we'll say this thing and do the opposite. No, Dubois don't care. And we've got Dubois' reaction anyway, but let's finish off this Andy Lee breakdown.
So it's been a good move for him. You know, I don't buy into the adage of if you're lighter, you move faster. I think if you're lighter, you get moved faster. Where if you got some weight behind you, you can hold your feet and hold your ground more, and you're a bit stronger in the clinches. It's a physical game we're in here, and it's good to be. The stronger, the better, almost.
So the stronger, the better. Now this would be true if what it feels to me like Andy Lee hasn't considered is cardio here. If it was true, if cardio for everyone was infinite, no matter what, I'd say the same. I'd say, yeah, come in, 400 pounds, you've got infinite cardio, and you'll be able to twitch every 2 seconds with massive weight and just be as quick as, you know what I mean? You'll be able to maintain your speed and maintain your power infinitely because you've got infinite cardio. So you get a big, heavy, massive body and you can just ping it off 500 times around, no problem. Oops. That's not the case though. Number one, the premise that, well, yeah, I don't believe that bigger people move slower. That's ridiculous. You can look at anyone. You look at Bacoli. Bacoli's definitely moving slower than he was. His foot movement's almost gone at 280. Zhang has no foot movement at all. He walks in. His hands are good. Their hands are good. What do we know about Zhang? Zhang, 300 pounds, 285 pounds, no gas tank. Bacoli, his gas tank is suspect, people, at 285 pounds. Fact, he was goosed in there after a 10 rounder with a big heavy bag, Tony Yoka. That's what happened. He couldn't stop Tony Yoka, who was a heavy bag. Seriously, watch that fight. You can be as big as you want, as powerful as you want. You need gas to do something. You won't be tussling nothing if you're goosed, especially if you're putting on weight your natural body wasn't really meant to carry. And I think people say, oh, AB Parker was sick against Joyce. They've always got some excuse, these man. They're always cooking, oh, I was sick this time. Well, that's convenient. You got knocked out. You weren't never sick before. So you have to believe either Parker was magically sick. It's possible. Anything's possible. Or it turns out Parker came in against Joyce 15 pounds above where he should really be, which is a lot of weight. That's what? 6.5, 7 kilos. 7 kilos. You get a 7 kilo dumbbell, people. And you try skipping around for 12 rounds with it on your back. Oops. See how tired you get. Parker shouldn't be a bean more than 240 in my opinion. He shouldn't be a bean more than 240. Yes, he shit himself against, what's his name? Well then again, even at 242, he was goosed against Dillian White. Was he? Wait a minute, people. Was Joseph Parker sick against Dillian White? Joseph Parker was hanging against Dillian White. White was hanging as well, but come on. Yeah? Wilder was doing nothing in there. You look good against Wilder, you look good against Zhang. I don't know what putting this extra weight on is coming from. I don't get it. Is it a case of, well, we're sick of getting clipped? If you're chinny, yeah, listen, extra weight don't help your chops, I don't believe. That's neurological. Your chops don't have much fat on it, right? So putting more weight on here is it's the nervous system. It's nothing to do with, unless you can, I don't know, maybe Joseph Parker's been flown out to Turkey, man, and they've put a whole bunch of jaw filler in there, just padding it with nanocarbon fibres all around here. That might be a good idea, actually. How would they know? Oops. Yeah. I need to start doing a service, man. Yeah. Put a bunch of moody carbon nano things in there, in the filler, just encased like a mouthguard around your chops. Unless he's been doing that, your chin's your chin. And I'd argue, a lot of KOs, yes, there's some starching KOs, but a lot of KOs are actually a derivative of goosedness. Some people get starch. Other people, it's the fact they're broken down and they're like, and they're ready to go. You've loosened them up. They haven't got nothing left. They want out of there. They got nothing left to give. And a little shot, a shot that in round 1 would have bounced off, in round 9, yeah, most KOs go that way. It's much more rare to see someone to spark someone. Most stoppages end up in the latter rounds where someone's been broken down. Very rarely it's a one-puncher. Very rarely it's a super competitive fight and one punch goes in and the guy's sparked out. So the extra weight, it may help. Well, I'd debate it, but this extra weight may help him avoid the one-hitter quitters. But on the downside is, after the 6 rounds, and he's proper goosed, Dubois coming in like he normally does. He's fighting at a normal weight. It's not like Parker's been experimenting. Parker came in more or less his career average against Wilder and Zhang. 245 and 247. He was 255 against Joyce, which was a stinker. Was it 255? Yeah, 255 against Joyce, which was a stinker for him. What do you mean about that fight? He was gassed and hanging in there. Was he sick? Was he not? I think he just carrying 7 extra pounds on his back. That's what I think happened. Sorry, 7 extra kilos on his back. And if they're talking about career heaviest, we're looking at 260. And some people have been saying 265. Seriously, if I see 265 on the scales, I'm putting more money on. I got about what? We got 50 on Dubois right now. I'll put another 50 on if I see 265, because that's ridiculous. He's had no time to it. You can do all the sparring you want. You can do all the pads you want. It's not like he's had, okay, well, we fought Zhang at 260, so, you know what I mean? He had no testing of it. And it's all fun and games until then you're under pressure from a dude, like I said, 10 generations. Daniel Dubois comes from a Yardy line of 10 generations deep of Mandinga fighter. He ain't playing with your ass. He ain't playing with your ass. He's not. This ain't what you thought it was. This ain't the Zilly Zhang, Big Bang, Sweet Sour. 6 rounds of gas. It's not. This is 12 long, hard rounds. Pause. Proper long, hard rounds. And if you think Meek Mill's got it bad, seriously, I played the tape the other day. If you, man, think Meek Mill's got it bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's what you ain't seen. Yeah? You ain't seen nothing yet. Joseph Parker will be begging to be Meek Mills. He would say, Meek, I wish I could swap places with Meek right now by the time Danny D finished with his ass. Seriously, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you, man, no more. You're pissing me off. I ain't playing with you. What was Wilder doing in there? Just standing there. Parker couldn't even get in there and stick it on him, right? Couldn't even get on him. You stick it all over. He was like, Parker was choking then, and he was light. Anyway, let's now. I wanted to check one last thing. That was a bar I missed.
Hold your ground more, and you're a bit stronger in the clinches. It's a physical game we're in here, and it's good to be. The stronger, the better, almost.
Well, don't miss a truly historic night of boxing. This event is available to all Sky residential customers and also non-Sky customers by the Sky.
Okay, that's that. And there's another one here. So Dubois reacted to the extra weight game. Where is it? Here it is. It emerged on Wednesday that Parker would likely weigh in a career heaviest for the fight on Saturday. Live on Sky Sports box office. That suggests a New Zealander might look to hold his ground in the contest and trade power punches with Dubois. People. This would have to be one of the biggest Kabbalah scams against the YB's gambling book of all time, right? For Parker to pull this off, I'm talking about. For Parker to clip him and Dubois on skates, it'd be a massive Kabbalah scam on the masses. Seriously. I would have never seen nothing like it. He's got no chance. No chance at all. His only chance was to be super nippy, tricky and fast, and Dubois just can't quite get on him. I can see there's an argument. If Parker had full maximum gas and maximum ping, there's an argument he might just be able to be tricky enough to make Dubois look a bit silly, a bit like Bivol did against Beterbiev for a few rounds. But you saw how that wound up. That ping and that, people, Bivol definitely don't want to come in heavier, right? To maintain that pace. He was goosed. Put a 5 kilo dumbbell on his back and see how much quicker he gets knackered trying to move that much. That was Parker's edge, sorry, end of the day. Anyway, Dubois' team reacted and said, but regardless of the weight gain, Dubois won't alter his approach. That's their own prerogative. We can only take care of what we're doing. What they're doing is what they do. They've got a game plan that they devised, and they believe, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there should be some bars from Dubois somewhere. Okay. Here we go. Dubois had his own warning for Parker ahead of their fight on Saturday. I'm on it 100%. Bang, spark, on it. You see you kangaroo rugby playing Plumbington from New Zealand. You are getting it, is what Dubois said. Fact, you saw the quotes here. Stop playing with me, man. That came out of his mouth. That was a video clip right there. Yeah? The spirit of Maximus Danellis spoke to you, man. Yeah? You big, stiff, round, cream egg looking ass. that's how Parker looking at. Like, he got the cream. He's a cream egg builder. He rocking a cream egg build. Whoop. It's not Easter yet, buddy. Why is Joseph Parker rocking Easter egg build and it ain't even Easter yet? You 2 months early, bro. Anyway, Dubois says, I'm in form right now. Yeah? Right now. You're getting it right now. You can have it right now. Do you want it right now? He don't want it right now. That's what he don't want. He don't want it right now. That's what Parker don't want. He don't want it right now. I'm in form right now. And I can't wait to fight on Saturday. I'm proper ready to go. I love hearing these bars. I just love hearing them. And I believe it as well. Hate to break it to you, man. We've heard a lot of wafflers. We've heard Fury huffing and puffing for way too many years and doing nothing in there, stinking the place out. But Dubois, he's done it. He's stopped them all. Miller, Hergovich, AJ. All in increasing fashion as well, in better fashion than the last one. 10 rounds. What was it? 8 rounds. 5 rounds. Bosh! You can't argue. You can't sit here and say, well, he's done enough now. That's enough to say, I believe this guy. That's enough to say, I'll put $50 on this guy. That's enough to say, this big, stiff, kangaroo, rugby-playing Plumbington from New Zealand is getting it, right? Okay, he says, I'll just be ready to fight and take all the opportunities that present themselves. I'm ready. There's the bars from 9D, the Prophet. Now, Matthew Macklin's got some corny bars for you, man, as well, on this topic. I'm surprised. Here we go.
Well, it's not breaking news, it's what we suspected, but it has been confirmed by Andy Lee. Joseph Parker expected to be his career heaviest. Your reaction to that? Perhaps not surprising, but he does look big. You know, it's unconfirmed, but he does look big.
Yeah, it's not surprising because we all said how big he looked, didn't he? And I think it's probably sensible tactics from him in the sense that they want to be robust for this fight, because certainly Daniel Dubois is aggressive.
Listen, Matthew Macklin. All due respect, yeah? I don't want to hear from Matthew Macklin about no boxing, man. The only thing I want to hear from Matthew Macklin is, where's the gear at, man? Stop playing with me. We know you got to down. We know you got to down the man can connect, man. Stop talking. Listen, man. Why are they dragging this guy up on here, man? Talk about boxing. Where the gear at? We want the pucker. Where the 10-10 at? Where the Colombian at? Stop playing with me. Bring this corny deal on here. Yeah, well, I like that idea. It's really sensible. It's the most stupid thing I ever heard. Seriously. What's smart about it? Coming big and stiff and useless and slower. take the one edge you had potentially over Dubois away, and just be as slow as him. What are you gonna do then? That's mad. Yeah. So don't let me see Matthew Macklin out here no more unless you got the links for us, man. Yeah. Unless you passing us, man, the links for Dan the Man Kinahan to put us on, get us on the map, yeah, with some proper discounted pucker gear that we can move on to the masses, so that we can put the streets on, because the streets are starving right now. Come on, Macklin, and we know you got the links. Stop playing with me, MTK, MGM, Global. Stop playing with me, man. You got the links. Put the streets on. Yeah, you see how the white be living, man. Got this big shirt on. You, man, could do me a nice deal. Yeah, get me out of this situation. Anyway, that's mad.
Albeit behind the jab, but he looks to take the fight. He'll be looking to take the fight to Parker. He's a big puncher. Parker might look to box, but there are going to be periods in this fight where he has to stand his ground and get Dubois' respect. Otherwise, Dubois will just run all over him.
Listen, the truth is, though, yeah, that narrative of, he has to hold his feet at some point. Parker didn't really mushy bash Zhang ever. To tell the truth. He never mushy bashed Zhang. So again, the narrative that he needs to... And Zhang, we know, has no gas as well. So if do you know what I'm trying to say? Zhang has no gas. And you never once did I see Parker hold his ground with Zhang, really. He'd do a few good pot shots after Zhang finished punching and then get out of the way. I can't say I ever saw Parker go toe-to-toe and try and make Zhang looks silly. I'd argue, though, that Zhang probably is defensively more acute than Dubois. Dubois, there's more gaps, so maybe the argument is, well, Dubois is going to leave gaps, so we can exploit them. I don't know, man. I'd go into this fight like the second coming of the New Zealand Erislandy Lara. That's what I'd do. Make Dubois look silly and just stink the place out. That's what you did with Wilder and Zhang anyway. That fight, them fights stunk. Seriously. You had Wilder, who was a skeleton of himself, a big useless skeleton-looking basketball player in there, and Zhang, big bang, I bang you 6 rounds of gas. You know what I'm trying to say? Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, it is what it is. we'll find out on the scales. Hopefully it's not the moody scales where it's like, oh, the guy's got a bunch of clothes on. Is he big? Is he not? But after the Tyson Fury weigh-in, we know now that the weigh-in's pretty legit. I mean, Fury was definitely more bulbous. His belly was proper. He's always out of shape, but his belly was hanging over the top. We'll know if Parker's bulbous or not. And we'll be able to tell as well a reference from Dubois. Dubois is not going to come in no different than he normally does. Let's have a look. So, if Dubois weighs in at... Yeah, look. Oh, tell a lie, he's got some deviation there as well. It's interesting. I'm surprised, these guys move so much. He was 239 against Miller and 248 against AJ. 10 pounds. That's 5 kilos. I've always had the same bars. I think it's better these guys come in. I think Dubois should be 240 as well. I really don't see an advantage of being heavier. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe being massive is really good. Then again, he fought Usyk at 233 and he stunk the place out. So, I mean, you need the gas though. And he was knackered against Usyk as well. I don't know what's going on. Was that before Don Charles? No, Don Charles was there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. The evidence here implies the fact Dubois was 233 against Usyk, and then was 239 against Miller, and then was 245 against Hrgović, and then was 248 against AJ. Implies he's getting better as such. The more weight he's got on him. He wasn't gassing against Hrgović either. He was building up. So, who knows, people? Who knows? I reckon Dubois' team are just doing... They're obviously not tracking weight, and they're just eating what they want and coming in whatever weight they want. Let's see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like for the bell. 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.